What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Dr. Movie, where the doctor is in his car. And we talk about movies, yo. Yeah, so, been doing the Tubi thing, finding a lot of flicks, and going down that rabbit hole. I like that they've even kind of caught on to that, because when you open up the newest version or update of Tubi, it's got like a rabbit coming out of a hole. That's a pretty cool idea. I like it. So you know that recently I've been going through all of these 70s exploitation, car exploitation, whatever you want to call it, movies, road movies. And just a warning for you guys, this is something I've learned. So lesson is, just because it says 1978 doesn't mean it's good. You guys know that I love that sweet spot, right? Right in between, 76 to about 82. To me, there's just there's a magic there, and there's this huge transition that happens as far as film going from being a theater experience to your TV, right? With VHS coming in. You were seeing some VHS late 70s, but they were through the roof what they cost. And this one is one I've never seen before. It popped up because I liked a bunch of other movies in the same vein, I guess you'd say. And we are talking about a movie called Towing from 1978. It's PG. And let's see our synopsis for this. It says, two barmaids try to stop an unscrupulous towing company from carrying out a scam where they tow perfectly working cars and impound them. Yeah. I wish more of the story was this, because it really turns into Two Broke Girls, right? The setup is the beginning. You've got a tow company that's around town called Justice Towing, and they're anything but. They are hooking up to cars that are in perfectly legal spots, perfectly functioning vehicles, but they're impounding them to get the money. That's kind of the whole point, right? So they're just driving around, seeing if nobody's around. If they don't see anybody, they just hook up to your car and take off with it, right? So the beginning, you got all these people that are angry, that are in this little office. It costs like $60 to get your car back out, and they don't care what your excuse is. They just want your money. Kind of the setup of the movie. Unfortunately, I thought we was going to have maybe like even like a highballing, if you listen to that episode, or even a trucker's woman kind of thing where they rebel against, the tow company and start their own company, something like that, DC Cab kind of thing, right? But no, we just get this long, drawn-out scenario of these two barmaids that are just trying to get through life, right? They're living paycheck to paycheck. They keep getting fired from jobs. I mean, like I said, it's Two Broke Girls, if you've ever watched the TV show. That's really what's going on here. Before we get too far, let's talk about a couple of people in our cast. There's no big home run hitters. We got Joe Mantegna in this from, I don't know, what's the show he's in? One of those police shows, CSI, one of those things. Your guys are screaming at me right now. I'm trying to think and drive at the same time, so give me a break. All right, he's on some TV show that's really irrelevant. Sorry, Joe. I don't mean that. I think you're a pretty good actor. You just end up in some shows that whoopity-doo, right? Okay. Anyways, hey, I think he's had a long career in this show. It's just I'm tired of all these shows. I can't tell one from the other. Anyways, old man rant, right? When it comes to that stuff. We got Sue Lyon in this. Again, nothing real major to talk about with her. Let's see. She was in Lolita, right? And she's in some other low budget thing. She was in the Evel Knievel movie, right? That does not have Evel Knievel in it, right? It's George Hamilton, which, hey, I need to watch that again because I'm a George Hamilton fan, right? So maybe I'll check that out before too long if I can find a copy of it. So, I mean, really, that's kind of it. You see a couple of familiar faces, people that are the low-down scumbags that are, hooking up, pulling people's vehicles, stuff like that. But for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. I was disappointed because it spends a lot more time with this young bartender lady trying to hook up with an older rich man. Don't matter which one, just a one is what she's trying to do to better her life. You know, fine. That, hey, use your assets, right? But she's actually in love with this other guy who is not a real winner either when you think about this. He's a young guy, nice-looking guy, but he's kind of a loser because his car is when it gets towed, which, let's face it, when your car is a, you know, AMC Pacer, just let them tow it, man. Just let them have it. It's not worth getting back. Just saying. But yeah, I think that's the first car that gets towed off in this movie. I don't know if it's necessarily his, but when they hook up to that car, I'm like, yeah, just take it. You're making the street safer by getting that one off the road. So if you're a Pacer fan, I'm sorry out there, but you know it's right. It's like it's the big brother of the Ford Pinto. You really don't want either one of them. But I don't know. We spend a lot of time with girls trying to hook up in relationships, and it doesn't go anywhere for a long time. So there's very little towing going on. But you do have this hothead guy that's kind of like Shooter McGavin from the Happy Gilmore, right? I don't know who this guy is, but he's the guy that owns the Justice Towing Company. And he's a grade A-hole. I mean, fits the part perfectly. But he's involved with some underhand stuff. You can tell he's getting money under the table for certain things, tied into some police force people and stuff like that. So even though he's doing this stuff, they're turning a blind eye. And these girls and this lawyer, which is Joe, that I brought up earlier, decide that they're going to come up with a plan to get this guy in trouble. Which I don't understand why you have to get him in trouble. It seems like he can get in trouble on his own because he's in this bowling tournament, which again brings up that credibility level. Not downplaying you bowling guys, but this guy owns a tow truck company and he bowls. That's class. I'm just saying. But, sorry. I didn't mean, maybe I ought to edit that out, but I'm not gonna. It's too funny. So if you want to get mad at me about that, that's fine. Go ahead. I'll take it. Maybe I shouldn't have said it. But anyways, you know what I mean. He's bowling against this guy, and he's pretty much just slandering this guy the whole time. If the guy's either bowling or not, he's just doing all kind of racial slurs to this guy. And eventually the guy just gets up and cracks him over the head with a beer bottle. Well deserved. But while that's going on, our young ladies and the lawyer, who is now a criminal, let's just face it, if you're going out and hooking up a vehicle to somebody else's car and hauling it somewhere, you're a criminal. But they hook up the tow truck to the Justice tow guy that's in there bowling at the moment. They take off with his car. Actually, they rip the whole front bumper and grill off at first because they don't know how to hook it up. And then they drag the car to a used car lot, get the old chalk out, start writing on the windshield, you know, has AC, bumper needs fixed, good deal. They write a price on it or whatever, but they literally just moved it and stuck it on somebody's car lot. But they do this setup operation where they call and make a complaint and need Justice Towing System to come pick up this car. It's in a place that it shouldn't be, and it ends up being the car of the mayor's daughter, right? At this point, I just kind of checked out for a little bit, lost a little interest, so there's some details I'm sure I'm missing here. But at the end of the day, they get the cops and everybody to show up and realize that they are literally just grabbing cars and taking off with them, and they bust the main guy, take him off to jail, and everybody does a Toyota, oh, what a feeling, jump up in the air, salute, and it goes off. So it's kind of this movie in a nutshell. Super low budget. I don't know. Kind of wish I had my time back, but I didn't hate it. It was just kind of bleh. So, which is, I hate to say it, kind of how I feel about Two Broke Girls. It's just kind of bleh. It's not really that funny because it's just the same scenario every episode, right? But it's what you got here. That's the reason this movie never got popular, and that's the reason Two Broke Girls never made it past, 2 seasons? Just saying. But that's kind of my take on this one. I'm going to give it, I look at the rating here, and on IMDb, they give it a 4.8 out of 10. So almost a 5 out of 10. And on a scale more like mine, it says it's a 2.8 out of 5. I'm just going to give it a flat 2. Because I don't really want to put it in the 3 category. It's not quite there, which is kind of what they got here, right? To me, it's a 2, because, I don't know, wasn't that thrilled with it. Had high hopes. I've seen other movies that I enjoyed ever like this, but unfortunately, this is not one of them. All right, folks, that's all I got for this one. If you like this movie, or if you got other recommendations, feel free to hit me up. Don't hit me, just hit me up. I'll be glad to talk about the movies. If you're like this one, or if you're a bowler that owns a towing company and this kind of offended you, I'm sorry. But you can let me know about that too. But anyways, folks, keep it on the road, and we will check you later, yo.